Hey everybody, this is Ben Schillig and I'm here today to talk to you about the one thing that I believe holds back the high handicap player from being a low handicap player, and that is the way that they contact the ball and where they contact the ball. So the majority of those golfers who struggle with their golf game tend to release the club very early in their backswing and they bottom out very early, and this causes one of two things. Either the really bad part happens where they hit the fat shot, which means that the club enters the ground prior to hitting the ball, or they'll release the club so early that they'll start to actually pick it up on the way back through and hit the ball very thin. Now, how many of you have looked like this through your swing if you were to ever take video of it? I would say quite a lot of you. So what we're going to go over today is how to stop doing that, a couple of reasons why that happens, and then a few drills that'll make sure that you can get that out of your swing. So the first thing that we got to understand is that there is an upper center of our body and a lower center of our body. And wherever these go, the club will tend to move. So as I swing the club with my left hand and I don't move this, you can see that the club bottoms out pretty close to the same spot every single time as I'm just swinging it with my left hand. Now as I start to move this backwards in my downswing, you can see that the club is going to start bottoming out a little bit more behind the ball. The majority of those golfers who tend to hit behind the ball have something like that happen in their swing. The upper part of their body, the upper center of their body, which is right underneath our neck here, tends to move backwards in their downswing. Now why do they do that? Because they feel like by doing that they can start to lift the ball up into the air. Now remember that our club has loft on it. The loft will get the ball up into the air. We don't have to lean back and flip the ball up into the air. We want more of a driving motion down through the ground towards the target like this. Okay, so that's step one. Step two is that we have a lower center of our body. You can think about where your belt buckle might be. Now when this starts to move around quite a bit, it can move this upper center of our body. So if I have a really wide stance here and I start to shift into my right side, this lower center moves quite a bit, then chances are I'm going to move off the ball quite a bit this way. Now conversely, in the other direction, if you tend to be somebody that tops it or really starts to hit it thin or something like that, and you start to move this lower center towards your left side and you have a really wide stance, then the upper center of your body is going to move way forward. You're going to come real steeply down into the ball, and you'll probably either top it or hit it very thin and very low. So we want our feet to be just outside of our hips so that we're not going to shift outside of them too much. And then I want you to make swings with just your left hand and feel as though on the way back this isn't going to move off of the ball, and then on the way down, same thing. Go ahead and just take swings with that left hand. Now the lower part of your body can move towards the target as you're coming down into the ball, but I don't want this upper part of your body to be moving all over the place. All right, so it's sort of like what everybody says, keep your head still. Well, your head doesn't really have any bearing as to where it's going to go. Your body is going to move it. So if we can keep this in a pretty similar spot, we're going to hit into the ground in the same spot every time. All right, so make those left-handed swings. Feet a little bit outside the hips. Try not to move this too much. We want more of a centered turn, not so much of a push move off of the ball. And then on the way down, we want to feel as though we're going into our left side but staying very centered. We don't want to feel as though we're falling back and lifting the ball up into the air. All right, so try those things. Hopefully that'll help you, and we'll see you next time. Good luck with your golf game.